Hello, welcome back to Monster Train. Today's episode is being recorded at 11 a.m. It's a nice early morning. I mean, early for me anyway. How you doing? How's it going? I'm fine. Thanks for asking. I'm a little tired because I just woke up. I got my coffee. I'm ready to go. Probably gonna do a few episodes today. I'm prepping for being what out of order? That doesn't seem right. You wouldn't say that about yourself. Out of service? No. Out of action? I guess that one's okay for a few days. I'm gonna try and do like 2 videos a day, but we'll see how I'm feeling. Anyway, hope you're doing well today. I am fine. I am just woken up, so like this is probably the closest to waking up I've recorded an episode. Well, that's not true. One time I woke up at 6 a.m. and couldn't fall back asleep, so I got out of bed and recorded Monster Train. That was probably the closest to waking up. Although, I don't know, maybe I laid in bed. Usually I don't get up right away, because, especially to do something like recording, because I'm worried I'll just be like, oh, well, I'm 20 minutes in. Monster Train doesn't feel like it, but it does take a lot of time. And over the course of an episode, a lot of times I'll go, I'm feeling good at the start, and then I'll be real tired at the end. So, I've been trying to make sure I'm not in that position. Anyway. Let me ask you a question, and let's get rolling, shall we? So a few days ago, you may remember I mentioned it was my birthday. In honor of that, I want to talk about gifts today. How do you feel about gift giving and the like? For me personally, I do not like it because, and like, I appreciate people think of me and they want to give me something. I guess it's fine. It's always family. But I've told my friends and gotten to a point where it's like, yeah, just don't give me anything. I don't want anything, and I won't get you anything. And instead of that, we can just like do something. Like, we can eat food or something, And I prefer it that way personally. But eh, that's how I am. It's particularly rough for me at Christmas time, because I go see my extended family and we have done a gift exchange for my entire life, but I don't know these people. And so it's like well, what do they want? I don't know. Guess. Get them like a book or something. Maybe I'll get everyone a book this year. I'm trying to move into themed gifts. Anyway. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's get rolling. Umbra, Wurmkin, Rage Talus, Spell Shield Fell, Diligence, Seraph, Pack Morsels, Echo, and Fusion Crucible Extension. Another day to play Umbra and be mad. No Plink, and also no Echo Break, so I'll take Karuska here. I started with Packed Morsels, so I really want to play Glutton. But I have Karuska, so I could just play... Yeah, I'm just gonna play Monstrous. Look, I've played enough Glutton in recent memory. If yesterday's run wasn't a oopsies, I have died to my morsels being bad sort of run, maybe I would have been more inclined, but yesterday's run has put me off. Yeah, he does have 40 HP, how about it? With packed morsels we should be okay. And we have Echo Infusion, which is also pretty nice. I don't think I should be at risk of losing the Relentless. So, I think Penumbra should win. The Foot Soldier is going to be... The Foot Soldiers aren't going to die, I guess, are they? The one... I guess I said Foot Soldiers, it's just one. The one that spawns with the boss is going to stay. Boss is going to have like 160, I think. Which means it's 40... 40 is 4 times, and then it would be like 55 is 3 times. Okay, think you're better to go for the health. You can run that math for yourself, because I'm pretty sure... I'm just doing the quick math in my head to figure it out. And I don't believe... He's 160. What is it? It's what is 160 divisible by? It's 40, and then is 160 divisible by 3? No. Right? 40 is a clean 4. And then divisible by 3 would give you like 59? Is that right? No, 53, sorry. 53 is 159, right? So you need 54 to break it down to 3 hits instead of 4. I got it. I think that Perils is a pretty strong pick here. I think Space Prism is also a strong pick. It's sort of just what do you want to keep your options open for? Do we want to commit ourselves hard into doing a Wurmkin idea because this card is very good for that? Or do I just want to give myself, well, maybe we'll play Void Binding on an Umbra. I'm actually going to go Space Prism. I'll take Echo Infusion again. Bog Chrysalis isn't the worst. It's pickable. We'll see what we see. Endless Bog Chrysalis. It is pretty good, I think. I might like Endless Kinhost Vessel a little more, although we're gonna have a lot of echoes, so... And a lot of echoes benefits the Bog Chrysalis more than the Kinhost Vessel, I think. So, first, let's check the relic. Firestone Housing is great. That's really good. Could have had Fossilized Fangs, Gorge, Penumbra. That's interesting, and by interesting I mean it's just very good. It's excellent, actually, because you just pick Trample or... I think that that's almost a free win. But, again, as you always say, hey, you can't know that. But as I have mentioned lately, I think that Gorge is not so bad as long as you have a good Gorger and a way to go to a lot of, hold on, I'll get there. Oh, relics. You have to see a lot of relics. That's what I'm looking for. But it's like some days I feel like rolling the dice. Some days I do not. Today I did not. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna get smoked by these curses now. And I'm gonna have my scaling slowed a lot because I'm going to draw less. But on the bright side, morsel buffing egg is good. I think the best unit infusion we're looking for here is probably... Go get him, buddy. Yeah. It's probably... Honestly, it's probably Morsel Master. Morsel Maker, no, not Morsel Master. You get what I'm saying. Prismal Dust is mid because we have Endless on the flies. Engine Upgrade is okay, but you can't really play it on the floor. The purple is nice. I'll go Perils. Shelter is fine, I guess. Although Proclamation is also decent. It doesn't, no, it's -1 echo, but 50 damage to a target is good. I'm gonna go Shelter. Me purple. Me, personally, purple. Go for the Steel Shop, but I don't have the money. I could go for the Umbra banner, but there's only one unit I want. It's a little bit of a toss-up, I would say. I think I'll go for the Steel Shop. It's fine. Glare Minder. What the hell? That doesn't seem very good. I think that this ring is probably going to end up being a wash. Maybe I could have upgraded Echo Infusion, but I don't think that's that good. Or not upgraded, duplicated Echo Infusion. I don't think there's a whole lot of good ideas in this area. Intrinsic space prism is okay. I'm willing to spend 10 to just have 6 space. It lets us do some stuff, I think. It's also an echo. I cannot afford anything if I roll there, so I guess we're just leaving. A shame. Bet I didn't take that trial, but to take the trial would have taken damage. It's a whole other side of things, isn't it? Rage Talos does just annihilate Penumbra, sadly. I actually think that I want to play like this. Yeah, I think I want to play like this. Now, it's a little spooky. I have to play the shelter for sure. This does 19? Okay, you're fine. I was gonna pop the trap shoot here, but I don't need to. The egg lives, we get to play 2 fractures here, and we will have these 2 hatch, and they're gonna tank. I could have put one of those elsewhere, that's my mistake. One of those should have killed another clergyman, but now we have a nice good bit of health to keep Penumbra going, and as I had anticipated, I might draw the other space card in time to get another egg out. And now we have a nice super floor going on here, where we have the 2 flies to help hit Penumbra to clean up backline, and an egg to tank. Yeah, we're there. Unfortunately, this will stop being particularly viable as we move forward because... Oh, whoops. Why is it 30? Did she get 25? Yeah. My bad. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. But, shouldn't do it like that, should I? I like I live. Wow. Oh yeah, because the egg is gonna hurt your flies. Of course. But this isn't really an idea that you can play for a long time because Penumbra gets too big. But for this combat, it's fine. We just have to be a little more flexible. Try to be too robust in these runs, usually. We just go like 10 turns. We have a whole floor of 64s and 36s, and yeah. Goodbye, pals. Farewell. Nice. It took 2. Not a big deal. Might have been able to stop it, but I wasn't thinking about it. Now, if we get holdover Perils, Furnace tapping Penumbra is not terrible. But I'm not going to look for that. Is Shard Soul Carver Infusion acceptable? Is the 1 space fine? With Intrinsic Space Prism, it means that I can get 4 flies on the floor instead of 6, but those flies get a lot from echoes being played. I think I'm fine with that. Draw and then energy maybe, probably just draw. This deck needs removals. I need to get to a point where I'm just playing a lot of purple. Keeper of Echoes is 1/1 instead of 2/2, but it doesn't cause me a space increase. I think I'm happy to just keep it as it is. I'm fine with this. There is a holdover Perils. I don't really want holdover Perils. I don't think. I'll hold over Echo Infusion, although it's kind of suspicious. It's basically trading a draw for an energy, though. Which is fine. I will say that's okay. No Steel Shop. I was gonna take this money, but there's no Steel Shop, which is all I really want money for, so I'm okay. I don't need it. I'll be fine. Party boy? I don't feel great about Heaven's Seal because Penumbra doesn't get kills on his own, but he is integral to not taking damage here. He might end up using the Space Prism on Penumbra in the future as well. This is like an order. I could have had 2-2 on this Shard Soul Carver. I didn't think I was going to play him, but then I thought about it a little more and I went, why not? And the answer to why not is, well, there's not really a good reason why not. Just let him go. Alright, yeah, Penumbra, by the way. Our Echo Generation is not as great as I would like it to be right now, but I have faith. Now I'm gonna not just randomly take damage here like I did. I believe I did this yesterday where I just incanted this enemy thinking I was fine. And then took damage. Oh, it ate all the echoes, you fool! That's too bad. It eats echoes at the end of the turn. Hang on, am I gonna... I think I have to play Bog Crystals on a different floor. Or just not at all, I'm pretty sure, because if I play Bog Chrysalis, I take 30. And that doesn't seem very good. Instead, I'm going to block all of this. And play it on a different floor. My damage output is looking kind of low, I'm noticing. Are you noticing that? This is a time for Trap Shoot, thank you. I think it'll, like, this is why we need removals for sure. Our damage output is just very low right now. Yeah, I thought about playing bottom floor for this guy. I did not do it. 102, you're taking 70, it's 135, okay. Yeah, I can play all of these. Even baseline, I am gaining health over this enemy. Now I do, very importantly, need to make sure I try to fracture the 9-2s out, because that's going to be a problem if I don't. And then, I don't know, with a shelter we're probably okay. We're okay. Smile. Yeah, see, it's not close at all. It's fine. Nothing to be worried about. Oh, hey, I ate all my echoes. Right, I have to think about that. It actually just ate all my echoes because it doesn't die in one hit. Of course. Wow, this is the glutton run. Multi-strike, double gorges, Umbra stone. But every time you don't take it, they give you all the pieces, don't they? Whenever you skip it, it's all there for you. Alas. I don't think there's anything in the trinket shop for me. Another holdover? Serrated mandibles is fine. But I want relics because egg relic would be nice, but I don't have the money. And I think what I want to do here is, first of all, if we get like -1 size here, that would be good. Hellhorn melting Stygian. Go Stygian. Yeah, I don't want any of these. You could take Ancient Synergy, but I am not planning on it. Alright, so I need to buy removals here, I'm pretty sure. My Echo Generation is not out of control like I had hoped it would be. I'm gonna buy 2 removals, because I'm pretty sure if I don't, I'm gonna get smoked here. Yeah, it was a little, I didn't even want to say it, but Crystal Cloak is a little concerning, isn't it? I didn't want to be the one to say it, but monstertrain said it, so here I am, I suppose, once again. At least Penumbra gets to do his thing. This is one of those very good for trample Penumbra combats. I really is such a slow start, isn't it? It's because I only have like, what, 10 cards that are positive on echoes, the starters, and everything else is... Because I haven't really been given good echo cards, I don't think. I haven't been offered... Like, Space Prism is fine, but... It doesn't really... It's only one play, I guess, is what I should say. Goodbye, Umbra. You did a good job, buddy. Can't play the morsels anymore. I can play Crucible Extension though. But like number of hits is starting to be a little concerning. Oh hey, I should actually just fracture one, I think, cause yeah. No, Crucible Extension was a terrible play here. I could have hatched this egg. That's a mistake. Yeah, I'm gonna take a lot for that. I guess actually I don't take that much now that I look at it. Oh wait, Serrated Mandibles clutches this. Yeah, never mind. I take none because of Serrated Mandibles, now that I look at it. Right. Random damage, good. Randomly putting one Reap on enemies is strong. Yeah, okay, never mind here. We're fine. But yeah, I played Crucible Extension like I was going to be able to play another Bog Chrysalis on this floor in a universe such as this. That was not correct. This floor is full. Now Monster Train gives me a good Echo card, and we go nuts. A good Echo card like the jar. I don't know what it's called. What's the jar? You know which one I'm talking about? You know which one I'm talking about. It's not Echo Infusion. You probably don't know. It's the bottle. I don't know what it's called. Gem Trove is a terrible Echo card. Force Contamination is also a terrible Echo card. I guess it's only -1 when you think about it though, which is fine, but like this doesn't help me. Not Broken Memories. What's that card called? I gotta look. 0 energy, fill your floor with echoes, Ember drain your units. Soul Siphon, there it is. Of course. Do I want something from the Hellvent? I can duplicate a good Echo card. I mean, the problem is the only reusable Echo card that I can duplicate is a starter, so... Seems less good, doesn't it? I'm gonna go look at the steel shop because there's like multi-strike and a -1 size would be sick here. Multi-strike, okay. I mean, multi-strike in itself is a lot of use. What's the event? Oh, +1 size. I think that if I were faster with my Echo production, I would probably go History of the World here, because then that should let you play multiple, but... I'm not fast enough, I don't think. Now, with +1 size, I need to get to 10, right? If I want to play 3 eggs on a floor. Because it's 2, 4, 6, 8 on the hatches is the 4 flies, and then another 2 for the 3rd egg, which would be 10. I don't think 10 is very get-toable, to be honest with you. But it might actually be. Anyway, I mean, it's not like it's a thought worth having. I'm picking this for sure. That is definitely what we're taking. It's just, you know, I guess it's worth having because, you know, what else are we here for? 60, so I need to take 40, which would mean I need 15, 15, 10. I should take 15 here plus oh, I can't take 15 here. Oh my. Okay. I mean, Purge Stone is also pretty good. We can purge. I'm gonna purge Perils. I'm not playing into it. Could have probably told you that from the beginning, though, now that I look in hindsight. Alright, fell. Let's get to work, shall we? This is a spell shield, so like nothing too devious here, I hope. The armor could get me a little bit, but I'd be surprised. Would be a good deck for fog slime. I have a lot of consumes that could benefit from that. If Umbra can fit on mid floor here, which he can, of course. Oh, I guess the other benefit of +1 size is I don't have to take a space upgrade for Penumbra, and I don't have to sack my space prism for Penumbra. That's probably the real payout of that one. I don't have a whole lot of expectation for Penumbra to add to this run, but hey, you never know. He does get to do a little bit here and there. This is definitely a more open run. It's a little more... I'm not playing the same thing throughout, I guess is what I mean by that. There's going to be a pretty good amount of flexibility between here and the Divinity on how I scale enough to not lose. Or in this case, win. Also, oh god, I almost bumped my end recording button. That would have not been very good. Yeah, I do feel like now that we have all of this stuff set up, our damage scaling is great. And yeah, I'm gonna get offered some good purples. I do feel like this is another one of those classic, this is something that's annoying about Monster Train sort of situations though, where, yeah, I'm playing a specific setup, and in this specific setup I have just not rolled what I need. The purple infusion that is random has rolled onto a shitty card for it every time. That's not cool. I don't like that very much. I would like to play purple cards. I'm gonna put 2 up here just to cap these guys, and then I'm gonna come down here and start working on hatching this egg. I don't know if it's maybe a lost cause to try and hatch the egg again. We'll spend 1 echo here like this. Yeah, that is right. It does cost 1. It's just weird to think about because it's weird to think about it costing 1 because you go from 2 to 1 at a 3 cost. It just seems wrong, but that definitely does only cost 1. Might actually make it to 10 with Crucible Extension, huh? As long as I'm killing top floor. I think eventually this becomes wrong, but for now it's fine. Can I hatch you? Hold on. Yeah, you do 13-11 if I hatch you. 13-17 with help from the morsel. It's pretty cool. It is always fun to watch these super bulky eggs just pump down bosses like this. All of this setup just to die to the egg itself. Pretty rough. I guess that egg is pretty spicy though. Spicy? Spiky. Yep, you see, this is what I'm talking about. This is my 1 purple card in this pack. Job Mitosis would also be unpickable. Kindle would also not be very good, but Perfect Insanity is literally negative for what I want it for. It's just another non-pick. So I got my Steel Shop upgrade that I need. I will go right. Purge a card, gain a card. Now it starts to get a little tricky. What's the worst card here? I think it's probably Packed Morsels. Actually, I think realistically it's Crucible Extension. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Crucible Extension. Nope. Because Echoes of the Past is good in a different version of this deck, not this one. Now, this is 3 holdovers. I mean, I guess maybe I should just hold over a purple card, but is that good? I don't know. Holdover -1 Fracture, does that sound good to you? Be honest with me. Now, there's a little bit of a trick going on here that Monster Train is going to play on me. I mean, it's not even a trick, right? I'm 70 pack shards, and I couldn't take this 15, so I have to duplicate something. I'm actually a little worried that I'm not gonna have enough pack shards. If this is a plus 30, it's actually possible that I am locked out of getting enough pack shards on this run, which would be the first time that's ever happened. It's like a 1 in 3, basically. But also, what I can do to stop this is I can pick any card that says damage on it, like deal damage here, and I'll be able to take a plus 30 as a result. Just worth being aware of. At this point, if it happens, it happens, and I'm not going to feel bad about it, I guess, because, I don't know, it's been a very long amount of time playing Monster Train, and this is the first time that's ever happened to me on YouTube. And also, it's not entirely my fault, I guess. I could have planned better, but I didn't realize that I didn't have anything valuable or able to take a plus 30 until here. But we'll see. Yeah, because 10 and 15, I could duplicate the egg, but 10 and 15 is only 25, which would put me 5 short. So, anyway. Let's get to it, I suppose. Thinking if I want anything else. I don't think so. Yeah, let's go. So, in a perfect world, there's a spell chain in there. I think Spike's 5, not very good. In a perfect world, we play Spell Chain, Space Prism. I actually did do -1 holdover Fracture, by the way. I didn't really say it, I just kind of did it quietly. The Ember Drain is worth the Echo. Top number gets 1 swing in before dying. Incredible. Great job, Umbra. You did it. I don't think I can... I mean, I can get the Collector, but I'm in a much worse position if I do so. Take these out of the way. I just want damage. And then after damage, I want health, because damage shield is worthless. And then I don't really want to feed the Shade Wings for free here, so... But I did do a very good job of softening up the first wave, which is probably going to be enough for me to be happy here. Or at least not as poor, not in as poor of a position. Breathe, darn you. You lived. A real shame here, because if I could just get, if I could get 1 more energy out, alas. Oh wait, we can save him. Hatching this egg is very important, I feel. However, this wave is a nightmare. So you're taking 42. Okay. So the play here is gonna be like Shade Splitter. Remember that it's gotta be trap shooting the 15 times too, I think. That's all that I really feel about it. And then I have to... The problem is that I need to use my fractures to kill the scary enemies that are coming at me, but I also need to use my fractures to hatch my eggs and, like, fill up on echoes, right? So it's a real catch-22 here. And I feel like we're just behind a lot and gonna fall apart here pretty soon. But I'm gonna come down here and because we have to start picking away at this. No way. I'm gonna take like 3 hits here, 2 hits, 3 hits, yeah, 30 damage. Not great. But we do have 6195 up here. 61 times 295. So now it's like it's not so bad, it's just survival is not great. But we can put this down here to start picking away. And once we get to this point, and then this egg starts to go around and pick some enemies off for you. Except the Reap gets eaten. So... And I'm gonna do something like this. I've been very surprised at how good serrated mandibles has been on this run. Usually it's just okay. It has been doing very well. And you know what? I should let this unit die, actually. I should let it die. Oh, but I got rid of my Crucible extension, so never mind. They both have to die before you can replay. That's a bit of an error, I would say. Oh well. We'll be okay. Ooh, Trample Boss could actually beat the shit out of me here. Well, you live, but it's not like you get to chump block anything. You do just get popped. The trample goes through. I don't think it's a problem. Yeah, you get a lot of damage out here. I don't quite have enough to hatch here, but you know, maybe you get over some threshold. I'm not doing the math. Yeah, no way. You're like 20 off. And it's fine. Yeah, so turn 1, turn 2 is scary. Thankfully we have Trample Penumbra to help us with that. That is a joke. I am kidding. Haha, gotcha. Another unpickable purple card. Love to see it. Thank you, monstertrain. Another unpickable purple card. Thank you, monstertrain. Very cool. I don't know if I got a single purple card that advanced my goals. I don't think the game showed me one. Now, if there is a plus 15 here, I think that... Oh, I didn't even think about that. I didn't think about that at all. It's spell chain, so it's fine. Yeah, I didn't think about the fact that I actually had to take... I didn't even look if there was a damaging card there. I can't take plus 10 piercing, sadly. But I can now do this for 15 and get to an even 100. Cool. Great. Refreshing. Oh, I can get rid of packed morsels, I guess, and we can pretend like I have purple cards in this deck. I don't. Encased Divinity is extremely helpful. It's like all of the purple cards have gone, or all the purple problems have now gone away. Decayed Decoy would have also been pretty good. +1 Reap on Serrated Mandibles is real, but, you know, can't buy anything here. We go on. Now, sadly, I've had to remove all my cards, so Diligent Seraph is just going to obliterate me. Very frustrating run, overall. Hey, I need thing. No. Okay. That feels like the whole run. But we do get to hatch on turn 1 with the Space Prisms now, which is very helpful. Oh, by the way, if you draw an Echo Infusion on turn 1, you play it with Charged Echoes, I think, and you generate an Echo. Oh, also, duplicating... this is a lot of space, right? So, I think our goal here is going to be to get enough... So, we were going to play a little... I drew 3 Vengeful Shards here? What the hell? Huh. Okay. Anyway. Fine. Should have scrolled up. I forgot. I think I'm just gonna get slaughtered by this boss, though. I fear. Yeah, because after Trample Penumbra is gone, things get worse. I have to consume non-purples. Oh, you live now? Okay, so since this egg lives now, I should hatch it and trade the 1. Hang on, I don't even... Do I have to... I don't have to trade the 1. I can do this. And I think that the melee weakness is worthwhile. Yep, that's scary. Oh, it's not that bad, actually. So now what we can end up in is this holding pattern where I just have these eggs here, and I chump block the big hits with a new egg because of all the space we have. Yeah, because it's a lot of damage that they're putting out. The egg did live, though. Having it live is kind of awkward, because like there's no way you're saving this thing from 2 HP. Don't kid yourself here. Put it on the front guy. +1 energy from Karuska has been kind of carrying. Oh, this is free. I made this free. The whole point of this was that I made it free. And yet I keep forgetting that it's free. Ah, shelter. I'm down to play egg first. It does live, which means that I should just play the rest. I'm gonna play... Yeah, I'll keep the fractures. I'll play shelter first. Yeah, this does put us in a position where I can no longer chump with the egg, but it also puts us in a position where I have 2 more flies on the floor. So, a bit of a trade-off, isn't it? Yeah, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So it's 12 times 50 is our damage output right now, which I'm not gonna do the numbers right now. Yeah, I am. I got nothing better to do. How much is 12 times 50? Uh, 12 times. Actually, it's now that I'm full up. Let me do the math on how much it is when you're full. Hold on. It's 70, so 12 times 70 is 840, which is solid. 840 damage, and it's also split 840 damage. It's like across all the units. So I thought we were going to get annihilated, but as it turns out, intrinsic spell chain Space Prism sets us up for some heroic positioning. And I don't love this victory, to be honest with you, because I do feel like it was a bit of, we were one bad outcome, one slightly different roll in that temple away from losing this. And I should have made more heads-up plays in regards to my echoes, or my pack shards overall. Because it just feels like luck that I didn't get screwed out of this. Now you might think maybe that's just me playing this game for like 2 years now and assuming the worst in every position. I don't really know. All I do know is that there was a chance I didn't go to the Divinity here. And that would have been uncool, I gotta say. And Trample Penumbra, he's not good, but I think a lot of the time what I'm noticing is that I don't need Trample Penumbra to do anything other than hit the first wave and then die, and that's all that he ever does. I don't want to play Shelter here. I'll save it. We do have armor gain for our flies here. And we have health gain. It's like, it should be okay. Play your Echo Infusion first. Yeah, if you play Echo Infusion first, you actually gain an Echo because it tries to eat the charged Echo. Just one of those slight things. You can't do it again, though. Only one. That's a one-time offer. One of those slight things to do, though, when you're hurting on Echoes like we are. Great job, Trample Penumbra. You did your best out there, buddy. Crap, shoot. I took it. I have barely played it. But now it dazes the Divinity for me for 2 rounds, and we go, oh yeah. And now we go, this floor is full of flies. I still feel like, I think that trying to hatch and make other floors is just not worth it, and really not very viable. I think the significantly better play is to just fill this floor's flies with damage. Yeah. And then when the front two die, we just replace them fully. I would prefer to not take all of this damage, personally. I love the way it goes across like that. That looks so good. Look at that. This is less damage to take here. It's all damage I take because the front fly dies. But I shouldn't die for it. I should take 2 hits, I think, which is like, what? I only take 1. It's like 10. But it's 12, 5, 3, 3. This is what it was. Need to be a little bit careful here. This wave is bad. I think that if I were to lose this, I'm gonna not play this morsel. If I were to lose this, it's because my front 2 flies die and I get bulldozed by this wave because I don't have enough damage. I think that might actually happen here. Indeed. Thankfully, I saved the shelter to try and get out of this position. Yeah, this enemy does 90, so... You know, be cautious. I have to kill it. There is no choice. If it doesn't die, I lose the run. Okay. We're fine. Now, on top of this, it's 89. There's no way that this shelter is going to make this guy not die. I want to make sure. 9 times 2 is 18, and that's 50. This is 61. I need to play this here. I have to feed 15 armor, because I need the egg on the next turn. If I don't play it on the next turn, I'm just doomed anyway, so... Gotta do what you gotta do here. Gotta make the play. Please don't bulldoze 2 of my units. Thank you. Sadly, I had to spend so much time prepping for the previous fight, or the previous wave, that I was unable to prepare for this wave. Which is now doing an obscene amount of damage to me as well. This is 50. So, the good news is I don't lose. Nice. We got that. It's a really scary thing to do, though, to throw that egg on that floor and just give this crazy strong wave even more strength. But if you don't do that there, you get crushed, because that egg has to chump for you, or you just get obliterated like that. Actually, no, I should keep this fly alive. I mean, it doesn't live. I guess it lives if I armor it. But I think now we're in the clear. This combat was tricky. This one required a little bit of navigating, I have to say. I think we should be fine now. We should be in the clear. But that one was not obvious, I have to say. Excuse me. The last Divinity. Cease this at once. Thank you. I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop here because every time I incant, I increase these guys' numbers, and increasing their numbers is scary. Alright, you know what? Go put this guy down here. Now it's less scary. That guy, because we were close. It's because he's doing 16 AoE and my back flies don't actually have that much health if they spawn first. Wonder if you should order that differently. I don't know. That run was a lot. That run was a lot closer than I thought it was gonna be. It was a little touch and go there for a bit, but hey, you know what? We take it home at the end of the day, don't we? A win's a win, isn't it? I would say so. Spooky though, and definitely close to just not going to the Divinity at all. And not an obvious line, not super free. Just a little scary. But anyway, special theory purposes. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.